Okay. First of all, I'm Tim Martirano. And this. Hi, thank you. Timmy. Hi, Tim. All right, we're in trouble already. Okay. And this is Billy Rosigliano. His name was on it because he was brave to put his name on this workshop. I did not. Okay.
And just we do have a couple of dignitaries in the audience. Lynn Langowski is here. Give her a big hand. And Ashley Voisin. Newbie. Everybody else is old and Monday.
Okay, so let's see. Again, if this seems a little bit rough, literally about 9 minutes ago we finished writing this. Okay, we like to have it fresh material, and you can't get fresher than it just got written. So, all right, so here we go. Before we get started with the presentation, if everybody read the description to the workshop, we're going to have to give you some housekeeping things on it. Mainly that our presentation does not include medicine. I don't know why that was in there. Or science. That wasn't in there. And certainly no evidence of anything. So, just so you know. So if everybody still wants to stay, we welcome you to stay. If you want to leave, go next door to another one, that's fine too. If not, we're going to get started. So our presentation today is all about the new governor, Steve LeBlanc. Specifically, we're going to talk about his ancestry and how he became such a leader in Kiwanis. Basically, you know, as this leader, we want to know what was in his genes.
I think you should rephrase that question.
Maybe I said that wrong. I spelled it right, but it just doesn't sound right. So our information of Steve's family tree came to us by compiling information from Ancestry.com and 22andUs. Yes, I know it's 23andMe, but Melanie Wittenheimer does not give us a stipend to do this, and we were on a budget, so we had to get the cheaper version, okay? So we're not 100% sure about all the data we collected for this. Okay, so
we're going to get started. So there's a little audience participation in the ancestry thing, how life began, and the genealogy of Steve's family. So we're all going to start off singing the theme to 2001: A Space Odyssey.
okay.
So remember, go da, da, da. All right. So 1, 2, 3. Da,
da, da, da. Dum 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 da, da. All right, so in the beginning of the time when dinosaurs ruled the earth, the LeBlanc ancestral tree started with Trace Noheratops. The first of a long line of hairless LeBlancs. They roamed the earth until man first appeared. Steve's great-grandfather to the 100th power. And this would be your line.
This a Neanderthal man?
No! Thank you very much for that. No, the lost link between the Homo sapien and the Homo erectus.
Homo LeBlanc's.
Now, Homo LeBlanc's was hairy in the terms of the later LeBlanc ancestors, but was quite follically challenged as the cavemen go. All right, we're moving on. As Homo LeBlanc's and the other cavemen roamed the continents, And they created civilizations, none greater than the ancient Egyptians. Some 5,000 years BS.
Before Steve.
The ancient Egyptians were led by the great Pharaoh Rogaine LeBlanc's. That's quite an ass on his head.
Tim, I believe that's an asp.
Oh, never mind. All right, moving on. The LeBlanc ancestral tree, we next have Buddha Buddha LeBlanc. Buddha Buddha LeBlanc.
Once again, facsimile.
The man never took a picture that he was not smiling. And now that I look at the picture, I now understand why he is smiling. He's a very manly man.
Tim, that's his foot.
All right, sorry, I didn't know his leg was tucked under him. Okay, at this point, the LeBlanc family tree branches out and to the good side and kind of the black sheep side. Okay, so up first is Kuba LeBlanc Khan.
Kuba LeBlanc Khan, father to Genghis Khan.
Right, Mongolian ruler from the Extra Chin dynasty. Next, we have Steve's great-grandfather to the 80th power. I couldn't say that all this time. I don't have enough time, so we just got 80th power. Everybody get that? Okay. Is Napoli Blanc.
Napoli LeBlanc.
Napoli LeBlanc.
Notice the similarity with the family line. They all have those certain traits, whether it's follically challenged or the nose or the mouth or whatever. So.
Yeah, he was the first LeBlanc ancestor conquering other nations to spread the word to everyone who would listen to him about a little-known organization called Kiwanis. The famous picture that you see him painted in was actually taken after he met with a very impressionable squire named Case Van Cleef, who hundreds of years later would go on to become international president of Kiwanis. And by the way, he's here with us today.
No, he's not the oldest.
Yeah. Moving up the ancestral tree. Did I say that? I don't know. Okay, we have our first entrance on the good side of the tree, and that would be Queen Eliza Blanc.
Now, this was the start of the tree in which Steve's feminine tendencies come to light.
That's one ugly woman.
And while she did have a very healthy head of hair, she sported a very freakish forehead. But you know, Billy, yeah, during that time, they used to wear wigs. So we're not sure. We're not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Next on the ancestral tree is the man who had no need for hair because he always wore a skull cap. That would be Pope Pius XII. Pope Pius XII is pictured here in his papal throne being carried by what looks to be the original members of the Kiwanis Club of Northside, Naples. And noticing, I'm sure this is some ancestor of Steve as well, because he's touching his head and rubbing, I think, all of his hair off. It's a little kid there, so. All right, this This next entrance to the LeBlanc family tree was the first of its kind, being neither man nor woman. Enter cartoon, Mr. Steve's Nuts.
Mr. Steve's Nuts. Once again, notice the similarities.
You got the blue eye, the smile, and the balding. Okay, with the evolution of a cartoon ancestor, the LeBlancs could further advertise and get the word out about Kiwanis. The initial onset of the future Kiwanis peanut sales was right there. So next we have Steve's great-great-great-grandfather, Ligande. Who, even while imprisoned by himself for 6 years, never for one moment stopped talking about Kiwanis to his captive audience. Never stops talking. The next member of the LeBlanc ancestry is yet another first. Not man, not woman, not even cartoon, but a food group. Mr. Le Dictator. He's on the bad side of the tree.
Notice the similarities.
The ears, the blue eyes, you get it. Okay.
If anyone has any questions while we're going through, please speak up.
Also sharing for a passion for Kiwanis, Mr. Le Dictator used his God-given gift of being both a cartoon and food group to market Kiwanis. That was not part of our presentation. I was thinking that's what a tomato sounds like when it's whizzing past your head. This next famous ancestor of Steve has been in movies, flown in parades, had a 50s hit record written about him, and was Steve's first family member to lead an SLP. Anybody?
Yeah.
No,
That's Charlie Blank Brown.
Notice the
There we go again. There. All right. Okay. Okay. So now we did that one. We did that one. Okay. Yeah. Steve's great-grandfather shared his love for sweets, particularly suckers, which is his friends and family appreciated the most because it kept his mouth busy, so he would talk less about his one true passion, Kiwanis. Great-grandfather, Telly LeBlanc. All right. Got that? Has everybody
That's a
got
little
this?
freakish, that one.
that one.
That was about 2 o'clock this morning. I wanted to think about it.
Just that one.
It was tough. Anyways, okay.
Right.
The last member, oh wait, we got this one here. Not much on, okay. Oh, there's not much on this next ancestor other than he is part of the longest running animated series, and the likeness cannot be denied. Doink! Homer Stevenson.
That one, notice the similarity.
Also, you'll notice every one of these pictures was, I don't know, corrected, maybe photoshopped. We had nothing to do with this picture. His eyes, they're actually blue in there. He's got a good smile, so we didn't have to touch him up at all. The last member of the LeBlanc ancestry to be from a food group was ahead of his time when it came to Kiwanis peanut sales. The one, the only, Uncle Kiwanis. There you go. There you go. All right. The evolution of the LeBlanc family came back to human form, yet only slightly smaller than his uncle, actually taller, I saw, taller than his uncle Kiwanis. It's Uncle Mini Steve. By the way, I know some of you are straining to see these, but what we're going to do after this meeting is we're going to take this out into the hall. So if anybody wants to get closer, take some pictures, you'll be able to do that. All right. And lastly, his grandfather, doctor, author, keynote speaker, TV celebrity, and good friend of Oprah Winfrey, Dr. Phil LeBlanc.
Yeah, Dr. Phil.
Running out of trees.
So,
Beautiful blue eyes.
he does have beautiful blue eyes. Yeah, I didn't know Dr. LeBlanc had this, but ours does. Again, this is all from Ancestry.com. Don't blame us. We're just reading this. And then, obviously, his current picture is up there, right? That's a nice picture, right? Do we have one? That's close. Yeah. Okay. But we wanted to give you a picture of Steve's beginnings. And what we had hoped to capture was some hair. But unfortunately, this cute picture that we got of his childhood that we found on the internet, because we couldn't ask his wife, because then it would blow the whole thing that he would know about this. So we went on the internet, we got his picture, and this is baby Steve LeBlanc.
This is baby Steve.
Now, I mean, seriously, okay, you guys. This kid's got there. I mean, you gotta go. I'll give you the address to that one. You gotta see if somehow your picture escaped and got out. But those two are identical twins. And again, he's just got the rough around the edges and nothing on the dome. So.
Now understand what you probably know, and you'll find out later on if you don't know, that Steve's theme this year is Kiwanis family and the Kiwanis family tree. And this is why we do. You do have to understand and try and understand where his beginnings come from, so you can understand what this next year is going to be all about. So, here we are with all his ancestors who were important in time. Similarities you can see as you're going, and but we only do this to the people that we love. Sometimes. Sometimes. But we're very proud of our member from the Northside Naples Club. We're very proud of him becoming the governor of our Florida district. We hope you made you laugh.
Yeah.